Welcome to or welcome back to my channel, me, my dog and books. I'm Johanna and I'm here to give you another weekend reading vlog where this weekend, so it's Saturday morning, I'm up and dressed, unusually for me. I've been finished a book that'll deliver me by Elle Nash, which I'll tell you about later. I've started You Like It Darker by Stephen King, but I've walked the dogs. Patty is resting up. Lucy is upstairs with the OH, and today I am going to take you to the West End of Glasgow because I'm going to meet one of my Instagram friends that I've been friends with for ages. She lives up, is it Fife? I can't remember. Anyway, she's driving down. I'm going into Glasgow and we're going to go West End. We're going to go book browsing because we're both skint and have no money. Book browsing and cup of tea, coffee drinking. So I'll take you around the West End, and then tomorrow, yeah, don't comment on the fact that my top isn't ironed. I don't own an iron because I don't wanna. Anyway, and then tomorrow looks a bit sunnier. Tomorrow I'm meeting another friend that I used to work with in the Southside of Glasgow, so I might try and take you along there. My friends might not want to be in the video, so if you don't see them, that's why. And possibly if the weather's nice, I'll take you along to something else on Sunday, but just depends on the timings. Obviously, and amongst all of that, you'll be getting book chat, what I'm reading, what I've finished, book reviews, and how I'm getting on or not so with my June TBR. You can keep me accountable or see how much I'm failing. Anyway, I'm going to get the OH to run me to the station so I can jump on the train. I'm going to take Pet by Cathering Chidgey as my reading buddy for the day. And I'll take you out and about. I hope you enjoy watching. Patty, what are you doing today? What are you doing today? Oh, naps. Look at her tail go. Ah. Currently she's listening to ambience. She likes that in the morning, don't you, Patty? You gonna hang about with your daddy? Yeah? Look at that tail go! Come and say hello to your friends. Oh, here she's waving. Yay! Peppermint Patty is ready for the weekend. This is George Square. This is in the very city centre of Glasgow. And that's the City Chambers, Glasgow City Chambers over there. And it's just surrounded by lots of restaurants and there's lots of male-dominated statues. It's a train station that just came out. So I'm just gonna walk along and meet Hannah. Anyway, this is Glasgow City Centre. It's looking a wee bit grey, but it's dry and it's kind of warm. So be prepared. It's different. Like, just with the cameras.
It smells like
Old books.
Good price.
It was, do you know, it was purely about that the other day.
There's so many Zorface records. I've got tons of them. I'm like, you know what? I need to stop buying them. Like,
Hiya. Just take video. Do you want to wave? What's in this side anyway? I'll put music over it. Oh, paper reflection. Is there more books down there?
I think so, yeah.
Oh yeah. Is this ours? Well, it's Sunday morning now, and what a day I had yesterday. It was so much fun going round all the indie bookshops in Glasgow's West End. So hopefully you got to see a wee bit of that. I did buy 2 books, I'll show you. I know, the OH will never know. And also bumped into the yeah, I'm in my PJs. My friend read this as an ARC before it came out, and she raved around about it, and the author is a debut book, and obviously the author is Scottish. I think she's from Glasgow, I might be wrong. And anyway, she recognised my friend because my friend really shouted about her book in the early days. So it came out not that long ago. It's called Glasgow Boys by Margaret McDonald. This was us meeting her. And she was so nice. I'm actually going to see her at the start of July. Talk about this book at an event. So it's a book I'm going to start next week anyway, because I haven't read it yet. It's called Two Boys Can't Remember the Last Time They Had a Hug. So you've got Meet Finlay, and then Meet Banjo. I think they're 2 boys that are, so I'll quickly read it. Meet Finlay, he's studying for a nursing degree at Glasgow University against all odds, but coming straight from care means he has no support network. Now, how can he write essays, find paid work and not fall for the beautiful boy at uni when he's struggling to even feed himself? And then you've got Banjo, and it says he's trying to settle in with his new foster family and finish high school, but he can't forget all that's happened, and his anger and fear keep boiling over. How can he hold on to one good person in his life when his outbursts keep threatening his already uncertain future? So obviously a lot of coming of age. I believe it's YA. But blurbed by Andrew O'Hagan and Simon James Green. Stunning, hopeful, heartbreaking, ultimately joyful. Tenderness itself, a song to love and friendship. How good does that sound? So I can't wait to read it. I think my friend influenced me on this, so I'm going to read it next week ahead. Well, I was going to read it anyway ahead of seeing the author, but she was so nice. She's such a lovely person. So support local authors and big them up when they do good stuff. So obviously can't confirm that I love the book or anything yet, but I have good vibes. So that was yesterday. Hope you liked seeing some of that. Today I'm going to the Southside Glasgow to meet a friend for coffee. I'm a bit tired looking today, am I? Patty had me up at 4 AM. She just wanted outside for a munch of grass, and I don't know what was wrong with her. She's fine, like there's nothing. And then she had me up at 6, and by then I was like, just wake up. So I did use that time to finish Pet by Cathering Chidgey. I don't know what I think about this. So I'll read you the synopsis. Like every other girl in our class, 12-year-old Justine is drawn to her glamorous, charismatic new teacher and longs to be her pet. However, when a thief begins to target the school, Justine's sense that something isn't quite right grows ever stronger. With each twist of the plot, this gripping story of deception and corrosive power of guilt takes yet a darker turn. Young as she is, Justine must decide where her loyalties lie. Set in New Zealand in 1984 and 2014, and probing themes of racism, misogyny and the oppressive reaches of Catholicism, Pet is a dazzling, chilling psychological thriller by the author of Remote Sympathy. I mean, there's a lot in here to unpack. It's a really interesting premise. But I found myself skim reading the last half, and I don't know if it's because of the writing style or I don't know, so I'll come back to it. I'm not really sure. I've literally just finished it, so I'll let it percolate in my head. Anyway, did I buy 2 new books? Yes, I did. Can I afford them? No, I can't. One was from a charity shop, from Cancer Research charity shop, so like that's not, I'm picking the label off it first. That's not even like buying a new book, that's just donating to charity. Yes, I'm complicit in my own inability to know. Anyway, it's one that I've seen doing the rounds, and actually it's just so new, and I thought I can't not buy that. A few people, so David Nicholls wrote One Day, which I read when it first came out years and years ago, for book group, and really enjoyed it. I know the Netflix show has done really, really well and everybody has loved it. I think that kind of genre for me is just not something I would read or watch now. Now, I've picked this up not knowing what the heck it's about, but I've seen so many people read it and enjoy it that I thought, I'll just have to pick it up. So what is it about? Marnie is stuck working alone in her London flat, stuck battling the long afternoons and a life that often feels like it's passing her by. I love the name Marnie, it reminds me of that Alfred Hitchcock film. Michael is coming undone, reeling from his wife's departure, increasingly reclusive, taking himself on long solitary walks across the moors and fells, when a persistent mutual friend and some very English weather conspire to bring them together. Marnie and Michael suddenly find themselves alone on the most epic of walks, on the precipice of a new friendship. But can they survive the journey? Oh. It's blurred by Bonnie Garmis, who wrote Lessons in Chemistry, and Monica Heisey, who wrote Really Good Actually, which are books that I like. And like it's blurbed by Matt Haig, Caitlin Moran, Mariana Keys, Nigella Lawson, so also it's very pretty. I get what you mean, I think I got it for £5 or £6. And then I did go into Waterstones, and this is one I've been eyeing up for a wee while. Main for 2 things. The cover and the author is Scottish. And the synopsis sounds like my vibe. So it's called Freakslaw by Jane Flett. Lock up your daughters, tie a horse rope around your sons. So wait till you hear, and then I'll follow up with a bit of information that she puts in ahead of the book. It's the summer of '97 and the repressed Scottish town of Pitlaw is itching for a change. Enter Freakslaw, a travelling fun fair populated by deviant queers, a contortionist witch, the most powerful fortune teller and other architects of mayhem. It doesn't take long for the Freakslaw folk to infiltrate Pitlaw's grey world, where the town teenagers, none more than Ruth and Derek, are seduced by neon charm and the possibilities of escape. But beneath it all, these newcomers are harbouring a darker desire, revenge. And as tensions reach fever pitch between the stoic locals and the dazzling intruders, a violence that has been simmering for centuries is about to be unleashed. So obviously there's something to be said about the use of the word freaks, etc. And some of the words that is used. So she has a note on language and representation, so I'm going to read it to you. She said, I've chosen to write a book about freaks, a group of people who've been cast out of conventional society for one reason or another, whether that's sexuality, gender, race, weight, or disability. In doing so, I wanted to honour the ways in which our marginalities took me a while, are so often a source of power, community and triumph rather than something we succeed in spite of. At the same time, they are not all identities I share, and I particularly considered whether or not I wanted to write about disability and how people have been ostracised because of it. In the end, I felt writing a book about a freak show, while excluding the physicality of what would be of that would mean erasing the ableist history of these performances in a way that was both dishonest and unhelpful. I hope I've done justice to the whole complex lives of Freakslaw's inhabitants, and this book can serve as both a love letter to the community and a reminder of how our struggle is connected. I'm especially grateful to the readers with lived experience who offered their feedback on these topics. Their insight is so appreciated, and remaining inaccuracies are mine to own. I thought that was really good, because obviously writing about marginalised groups and a lot of the protected characteristics when it comes to the likes of Equalities Act and things and beyond that can be really difficult unless you have lived experience, and so I really liked that kind of acknowledgement. And I'll let you know, so that's the author. How cool does she look? I love her hair. It says, or their hair. Yes, no, she identifies as her. Just check there. Jane Flett is a Scottish writer who lives in Berlin. Her fiction has been commissioned for BBC Radio 4, featured in Electric Literature's recommended reading, highly commended in the Bridport Prize, and performed at the Edinburgh International Book Festival. She's a recipient of the Scottish Book Trust New Writer Award, the New Orleans Writing Residency, and the Berlin Senate Stipend for Non-German Literature. Freakslaw is her first novel. Yay! So I've been wanting this for ages because of all those reasons. So one I'll be reading very soon. There's loads of blurbs. There's about pause to read. So I'll keep you posted. Is it Doubleday is the publisher. So yes, 3 books I've just chatted to you about, and I better get oh no, actually 4 books I've just chatted to you about. So I'll come back to some of those. I really need to come back to you on this because I need to let it percolate. Anyway, I need to leave the house in an hour to head over to the Southside to meet my friend, so I better walk the pups, feed them, and then get changed. I'll take you with me where I can. Bye! Hello! So that's me. I've driven to the south side of Glasgow, so I'm about to meet my friend. We're going to a wee cafe called Sibo. She might not want to be on video, so I'll take a little bit, because we're in the south side of Glasgow. So anyone that doesn't really know that, it's a very diverse, culturally colourful area of the city, which I absolutely love. So I'm about to go on Victoria Road, where there's loads of independent cafes. Yeah, so it's a thriving part of the city, which I love. So anyway, I'm going to take you along with me, and I'll try and get a wee bit of video for you. That there is Govan Hill Library. It's a lovely looking building, isn't it? So we're in the Govan Hill area. As you'll see, it's a Sunday morning.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Albert Road.
Do you hear my directions? Anyway, this is me in the south side. So let me see, because I'm going up to the Victoria Road. what I'm going to tell you is this road has loads of amazing charity shops. This is Locavore, do like grassroots stuff. And then this here is Victoria Road. I'm going to cross. Anyway, nobody's watching. I don't know. You can maybe see it back up here. And then here. Actually, this is where I came not that long ago when I was helping with a demo. But I'll get you some shots later. Really? So I'm not long home from the Southside and I wanted to share the cake that I got. So this is from Full Circle Bakery. Please enjoy your baked goods until the 25th. And this is what we've got, David and I. So you heat them up. This is a banana bread and Biscoff bake. And it says microwave for 15 to 20 seconds or oven 160 degrees for around 5 minutes. Allowed to cool for a couple of minutes before enjoying. Oh, so it's stuffed. They're a stuffed cookie. Our stuffed cookies are nice cold but are designed to be eaten warm. Please follow the instructions. Right. Patty! Patty! She's jumping up because I think she wants a bit. So I got us that, so we'll have that later. It's an independent bakery. I think they've got one in the East End of Glasgow as well as the South Side. And then I'm just gonna, because the OH and I and the pups are going to go to the Mela in Glasgow's West End today. Just going to drive over, spend a bit of time, which is Glasgow's annual multicultural festival. So there's like loads of street food, music, dancing. It's free, come along. But first, I am having from another bakery a lemon and poppy seed babka. I half it actually with David just now. Oh, Patty. Currently at Mela. It's quite hot and busy out there, so I've come under some trees for a bit of respite. The other half is over there. He's just managed to get himself some street food, and for now I'm staying away from all the crowds, so it's just so busy. Look. Like, there's loads of people, although I'm loving the traditional music. It's amazing. And it's a lovely day as well, but it's just like not very good in big crowds, especially with these two. And a couple of tenors. To be fair though, it's busier out here than I would expect for them. It's a free event, so, and it's a nice day, so what do I expect, to be honest. But I'm going to take them in, see a wee bit more sort of music and dancing, and then head up the road. Thanks for coming along with me. Starving. Yes, I bought cake. I've maybe eaten a bit of cake. I should have recorded this before I started munching. Anyway, just back from Glasgow Mela. I took some video at it. So that is Glasgow's annual multicultural festival. It's a celebration of multicultural music, dance and art. So it was great. It's free. It happens every June. Just last year it was very rainy and wet, so we didn't bother going. This year the sun was a shining, and so it was very busy, as you could tell, which was a bit of a nightmare when you've got two dogs. So kind of tried to stay in the kind of spacious bits or shaded bits until we went for a wee dance, didn't we, Patty? Me and you and wee Boogie. Lucy is out for the count on top of her crate at the moment. I have bought my Bookish tea on and kind of hibernating inside because it's very hot out there. Oof. Obviously got the factor 50 on. But I don't do well in the heat. Anyway, that was the end of the weekend roundup. I've got two books to tell you about. And one I'm about to start, I think. Yeah. Just maybe stop eating and talking at the same time, eh? So, wow. Deliver Me by Elle Nash. Literary horror that I don't actually know how to describe. Because that's, well, actually maybe I'll use, because I got this as an art. It's actually, I think it's already out in America in hardback. She is an American author who now lives in Glasgow, I think. Usually says she might be coming through because she heard my let's see, party pants. She knows I'm eating crisps. She won't let me away with it for long. Crisps are my nemesis. Legit can't ever buy them, but the waitress bought some and now I'm... Anyway, so to describe a little bit of this. Yeah, so I think she now lives in Glasgow. I think she visited Glasgow many years ago and fell in love with the city, and has since come back and is studying a doctorate in creative writing or something like that just now. Anyway, I'm going to see her on Wednesday at a book event about this book because it's the day before the actual launch because it comes out. So this was gifted to me by Verve Books, who are a great indie publisher. It says, well, how do I start? I'm actually just going to read the synopsis because it might be easier. It's described as an audacious, disturbing and unique and utterly unique. Elle Nash's Deliver Me is body horror at its most shocking and unforgettable. So there are quite a few trigger warnings in respect of animal cruelty and pregnancy and childbirth. So if any of those, you have to be very careful going into this. So at a meat packing facility in Missouri, Dee Dee and her co-workers kill and butcher 40,000 chickens in a single shift. The work is repetitive and brutal, with each stab and cut a punishment to her hands and joints, but Dee Dee's more concerned with what's happening inside her body. After a series of devastating miscarriages, Dee Dee has found herself pregnant and she's determined to carry this child to term. Dee Dee fled the Pentecostal church years ago, but judgment follows her in the form of regular calls from her mother, whose raspy voice urges her to quit living in sin and marry her boyfriend Daddy, an unemployed ex-con with an insect fetish, hence I think the picture. With a child on the way, at long last Dee Dee can bask in her mother and boyfriend's newfound attention. She will matter, she will be loved, she will be complete. When her charismatic friend Sloane reappears after a 20-year absence, feeding her insecurities and awakening suppressed desires, Dee Dee fears she will go back to living in the shadows. Neither another miscarriage nor Sloane's own pregnancy deters her. She prepares for the baby's arrival. This is so cleverly written. It feels like it makes a lot of good commentary around how women, or actually Dee Dee, tries to understand her purpose in life. Not being a mother or being pregnant, she feels insignificant, and she realises how much pressure is put on women in respect of having any sort of validation by becoming a parent or mother, or even a sense of purpose if that isn't your choice or you can't. There's the initial, her friend Sloane basically was her first crush, and very intimate and actually really well written same-sex lust relationship, which I think for young adults is normally very, the author touches in this in a podcast I listened to about how, I can't remember if it was the interviewer, but basically how a lot of sapphic relationships still have a patriarchal imprint on it, in that it's sexualized in a way that there's about a romance, and it's really good. Like, so take films like Jennifer's Body, right? Have you ever seen that? It's very made for the male gaze, and I appreciate it's like about sapphic romance, but this in here, it is quite graphic about the lust between two teenage girls without the romance and without the, so there was a part of that even though I'm not a big I struggle a little bit with graphic sex scenes or sometimes violence, I can deal with a little bit more. That actually felt fitting with the story. There's a point, when you don't know, in respect of Dee Dee, who's the main character, she's going through some form of psychosis in her own mind in respect of her value, how she deals with probably also being brought up, and the level of impact, being a kind of member of a fundamentalist Christian cult, effectively growing up and trying to leave that behind, working in a chicken factory every day and be surrounded by death. All of that amalgamates into this main character's thought process and the behaviours and things that she does. It's not a book for everyone because it's very graphic, as well as and there's also 2 additional graphic animal cruelty scenes, which aren't really cruelty for cruelty's sake. It's very much building into the character of Dee Dee and why she does these things. You start to have an understanding. They were utterly terrifyingly difficult to read. One was with a dog, one was with a cat, and then obviously you've got the day-to-day slaughter of factory farm chickens in the mix there, so there's lots of trigger warnings around this. But there was an interesting thought about how actually, certainly in the Western world, I think a lot of people struggle much more with animal cruelty, violence and death than that of humans. And I hold my hand up to that in respect of watching like horror movies or stuff like that, or reading books where there is animal cruelty. It jars with me more. As a dog owner, I've been a cat owner, I love animals, but that says a lot about our culture and how I could easily read some of that stuff happen to a human being but not an animal. And you think, well, surely it would be both of them are sentient beings. Anyway, there was just so much to unpack in respect to reading this. I thought it was so cleverly written. It's shocking, it's disturbing, but the violence and graphic nature of this book isn't just for the sake of it. It's very pertinent to the understanding of the characters. This is an amazing example of literary horror. I thought it was brilliant, and I'm looking forward to checking out more of what Elle. I think this is she's written 2 other books. One's called Animals Eat Each Other, Gag Reflex, and Nudes. Nudes is a short story collection, and I've not read any of those. From hearing the author, I think this is the one that is most leaned into horror, but I absolutely adored her writing style, so I'll be checking out more and look forward to seeing her at the book event in Glasgow on Wednesday, which I'm going to, and I'll be taking this to get signed. Then I finished Chris Break Pet by Cathering Chidgey. Sorry. So I think I said earlier what this was based on, and I'd literally just finished it, and overall it was very immersive, it was very descriptive. I like the fact it was set in New Zealand. That was an interesting I like reading about other places. This one's set in the Ozarks. It was a very compelling story, and you felt like just a kind of constant sense of something's not right here, which I did like. I did enjoy it. I just didn't love it. Quite a few people I really enjoyed that book, and I can see why. I think for me, it felt quite long, or it felt like it was dragging for me, and I can't actually put my finger on why. I don't want that to put anyone off though, because I think it is quite a uniquely written story. Especially when you start to see the plot twists of what's happened. It's very character and plot driven, like I would say equally so. Characters are very well drawn, but I did feel like at points I was skimming, and I don't know if that was more the pace of the book or what. Anyway, I would still recommend it. It's maybe a 3 out of 5 star for me. It wasn't like right up there, I'm afraid to say. But I'd still say it's worth checking out. I would definitely check out more from this author, although it sounds like they've already written quite a few books, and it's the first that they're on my radar because look at the books they've written. So quite a few. No idea what they're about, so I might check them out actually. So she's done obviously quite a few for adults, and then she's got 2 down there for kids, so definitely check out. If the premise is kind of like I would say it feels more like a literary, it's psychological thriller, but it's certainly literary. And I also like the fact that I probably don't read that many that are set in New Zealand, so I would recommend that. And I'm about to start on my Kindle, because I got it on NetGalley, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I was so excited when I got accepted, when I requested it as an e-arc cover here, because that doesn't really have the cover, and clearly I was going to read it immediately. I haven't, because I've got caught up in reading other things that I haven't read yet that I was meaning to read, like Deliver Me for the book, for going to the book event. I've got another one that I need to read before I go to their book event, etc, etc. So bit slow in starting that. Have I got onto your June selections? No, but I'm going to roll any that I don't finish in June into July, and then you will pick another 2 for July that I will need to pick, that I will also read. Oh, and I nearly forgot, I devoured this, mostly on audio, It is Ordinary Human Feelings by Nolan. I'm still processing my thoughts around this. I think she's an Irish author. It's actually set about, yeah, she's Irish, currently based in New York. She looks cool, doesn't she? In my opinion of what cool is, which is has no bearing on anyone's life. How to describe this book? It's really fascinating. So I'll read you the synopsis. It's 1990 in London, and after the death of a young girl on an estate, the finger of suspicion is pointing at one reclusive Irish family, the Greens. At their heart sits Carmel, beautiful, otherworldly, and once destined for a future beyond her circumstances until life and love got in her way. Now as the scandal unfolds, she must confront the secrets and silences that have trapped her family for so many generations. So there's so much in this about, so you're in this estate where the Greens have moved from Ireland to, and you find out the reasons why later on in the book. Fresh bake. And they're obviously trying to fit in England when they've moved from Ireland. People have got a lot of assumptions about their class, and they're also them as a family. So a lot of judgment comes at them. The fact that a young kid in the area goes missing and then is turned up and is dead, when the finger starts to point anywhere near the family, people have always thought they were strange and stuff. They're like just from a different community and don't fit in, is a vibe. But the extra layer on this story is that they have tabloid journalists who come in to try and get to the nub of the story and make what is effectively really unethical links and relationships to people close to them or themselves to try and get the underlying truth of the story, basically a headline. It makes you detest those type of journalists so much. The type of journalists that in the UK were just rife in the 90s and the 90s, and actually still to this day. And that is about that, where effectively what the journalists of the tabloids are trying to unearth and write stories about are ordinary human feelings that they like to just brandish to sell stories. And you look at how the journalist character starts to kind of eke in to some of their lives, and you start to learn about Carmel, who had a child when she was young, and you look at their upbringing and them as a family, and also the impact of having all this speculation made towards them. It's actually a relatively short book, 218 pages, not even 215 pages, beautifully written. I'll read some of the blurb quotes because it kind of sums it up. Tightly written, full of wisdom, terrific, daring, brilliant, bold and beautiful, an excellent novel, furious and compassionate. And I think that's where I felt like, because you could understand and you can have empathy and compassion for the family that have the spotlight on them, and absolute detested fury. I don't know if that makes sense, but absolute detest at the tabloid journalist main character, which I think is Tom and Edward. Highly recommend. It was shortlisted for the Nero Book Awards, which is a coffee chain in the UK. I don't think it's outside the UK. And I actually think it was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction, but highly recommend. So there's some more books that I have just finished giving you a thingy on, and then about to start on my Kindle. So I hope you've enjoyed. It was a very eclectic weekend filled with books, coffee shops, multicultural festival, and of course usual reading for me and a wee snapshot of the pups. But next weekend my mum is coming to stay, so because she lives with my wee sister and the kids and her kids and husband and stuff, and so she's always got someone around to look after her. Don't say I said look after her. My mum says she can look after herself, but you know, she's 85 and has mobility issues and other medical conditions, so she requires assistance. Anyway, long story short, she will be staying with me next weekend and the weekend after. So for the next 2 weekend reading vlogs, my mum will have a cameo feature. For anyone new here, my mum doesn't shy away from saying hello on the videos. I think she quite likes it, even though she doesn't really fully understand YouTube or anything. She'll always say hello and have a wee natter with you. So that's coming for the next 2 weekend vlogs, whether you like it or not. Feel free to skip on. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful day, weekend, week ahead. And thank you as always for watching, for liking, for commenting, and if you like this and any of my other videos, please do subscribe. Clicky, click, click, click. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.